We're here today to consider nominations for three important positions: Mayor Eric Garcetti to be the ambassador to India, Ambassador Donald Bloom to be the ambassador to Pakistan, and Dr. Amy Gutmann to be the ambassador to Germany. Congratulations to the three of you. We appreciate your willingness, as well as that of your family, to serve the country in this capacity. We have some of our colleagues here today, and we want to recognize them first. I understand that Senators Toomey and Casey will be introducing Dr. Gutmann, and Senator Padilla will be introducing Mayor Garcetti. So let's start with Senator Toomey.
Thank you very much, Chairman Menendez, Ranking Member Risch, and members of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. Thank you for allowing me to briefly introduce Dr. Amy Gutmann and express my strong support for her nomination to be our next U.S. Ambassador to Germany. Dr. Gutmann, thank you for your willingness to serve in such an important leadership role. As members of this committee likely know, Dr. Gutmann currently serves as the president of the University of Pennsylvania. And before I highlight just a few of her many accomplishments there, I want to acknowledge a different aspect of Penn's history, which I think is relevant to this hearing. Penn's founder, Benjamin Franklin, was one of the U.S. most accomplished diplomats. He skillfully navigated the complicated dynamics of 18th century European politics to promote American ideals and protect our nascent democracy abroad. Of course, much has changed since then, but some of the diplomatic challenges that Franklin faced remain the same today, including faithfully and ardently defending U.S. interests, even in times of disagreements with our allies, while maintaining close relationships. We face this challenge today in our relationship with one of our most important European allies, Germany. We rely on Germany as a major security and trade partner, especially given its role in the European Union. And amidst increasing global threats to the U.S. and Europe, strong U.S. representation to Germany is critical. I am confident that Dr. Gutmann will rise to meet these and other challenges facing the U.S. and our European allies. Dr. Gutmann earned bachelor's and doctorate degrees from Harvard University, a master's degree from London School of Economics. She subsequently spent over 20 years at Princeton University in a myriad of roles, most recently as University Provost. In 2004, Dr. Gutmann became the 8th president of Penn, a position she still holds today. And during her tenure, she dramatically grew Penn's endowment, expanded Penn's commitment to science, technology, and medical innovation, and enhanced the university's engagement in the Philadelphia community, among other things. Dr. Gutmann is a widely respected expert in subjects ranging from ethics to healthcare to political philosophy. And she's received countless awards and honors, including being named to Fortune's World's 50 Greatest Leaders list in 2018. Her impact at Penn has been recognized, including by the many Penn students who regard her as a committed and passionate leader. These accomplishments, coupled with her commitment to global leadership and experience in academia in the highest levels, have prepared Dr. Gutmann well for the role of UN ambassador. As I conclude, I also want to note the significance of Dr. Gutmann's nomination in the context of her family's history. Her father fled religious persecution in Nazi Germany in the 1930s, and her family's return to Germany in the form of U.S. Ambassador Amy Gutmann will be an extraordinary moment. I am confident Dr. Gutmann will approach this next mission with the same ingenuity, tenacity, and dedication as she did over the nearly 20 years she has spent at Penn, and I look forward to supporting Dr. Gutmann's nomination, and I urge my colleagues to do the same. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Senator Casey.
Mr. Chairman, thanks very much for this opportunity. I want to start by thanking you and the committee for this opportunity to talk about Dr. Gutmann. But if I refer to her as Amy throughout some of my remarks, that's because I've known her for the better part of 15 years, know her character, know her commitment not only to academic excellence and the excellence personified by those who are graduates of Penn, but also for the commitment she's made to the city of Philadelphia and our Commonwealth, and now on an even bigger stage, her commitment to our country by putting herself forward for this kind of public service. I wanted to start by talking about her tenure at Penn. Since 2004, Amy has served as the longest tenured president of the university. During her 18 years of commitment to the university, the city of Philadelphia, our Commonwealth, President Gutmann transformed the university into a more inclusive, a more innovative, and more impactful academic institution. In 2006, she led the largest fundraising effort in Penn history to support financial aid for students in need. Other initiatives like the President's Innovation Prize and Engagement Prize have offered students opportunities to turn their startup and service ideas into reality. She's also focused on the development of the community around the university through programs like Penn Compact 2022 and the Netter Center for Community Partnerships. As the leader of Philadelphia's largest private employer, Dr. Gutmann heads one of the Commonwealth's most powerful economic engines, with an estimated total economic impact of $21.5 billion annually in the region. While leading the university, she's continued to publish cutting-edge scholarship on the intersection of political science, ethics, education, and philosophy. In 2019, she published her 17th book, and she remains one of the top political theorists in the United States. Outside of her roles at the university, Amy has long supported Philadelphia and the country through a variety of interdisciplinary roles, including as a board member at Vanguard and chair of the Presidential Commission for the Study of Bioethical Issues. Her many years of leadership at Penn, applied expertise in political science, and commitment to the community prepare her well to be United States Ambassador to Germany and represent U.S. interests with one of our most important allies. I don't think I have to explain to the members of the committee the importance of this bilateral relationship, especially now. She's prepared to do this job, and I can testify to her character, her commitment to public service, and her willingness at an important time in our nation's history to serve as U.S. Ambassador to Germany. So I want to thank the committee. I want to thank Dr. Gutmann and her family for this commitment to the country. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Casey. Timing is everything in life, and Senator Padilla has now made it on time to introduce Mayor Garcetti.
Thank you, Chairman Menendez and Ranking Member Risch. It's my pleasure to be here to introduce Mayor Eric Garcetti from my home city of Los Angeles and the great state of California as President Biden's nominee for Ambassador to India. Mayor Garcetti's credentials are impressive. He is a graduate of Columbia University, a Rhodes Scholar, and a 12-year veteran of the United States Navy Reserve. Now, Mayor Garcetti was first elected to the Los Angeles City Council in 2001, where we served together for 5 years. In 2006, Mayor Garcetti succeeded me as president of the City Council as I launched my campaign for California State Senate. And in 2013, he was elected to serve as mayor of the city of Los Angeles, the second largest city in America. In his time as mayor, he has led the city through a number of challenges while leveraging the position to exert influence over regional, national, and international organizations. He served as chair of LA Metro, one of the largest public transit agencies in the country. He's the founder of Climate Mayors, a national bipartisan group of more than 400 mayors adopting the Paris Climate Agreement. He championed Los Angeles' successful bid to host the 2028 Summer Olympics. And Mayor Garcetti also chairs C40 Cities, an international network of the world's largest cities taking action on the climate crisis. And he led the organization's expansion in India. In the past year and a half, he has used that network to spur international collaboration in the face of the COVID-19 pandemic and share resources and best practices around the world. His commitment to public service and leadership on issues from climate to human rights will be instrumental to his new role as ambassador to India. India is a critical partner on the front lines of many of the world's biggest challenges, from COVID to climate change to national security. Our close cooperation will help support global security, fight the climate crisis, and further economic growth. Mr. Chairman, I urge the committee to support Mayor Garcetti's nomination, and I thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, Senator Padilla, and we know you have other important duties, so when you need to, please feel free to excuse yourself. Let me turn to a few brief remarks on these three nominees. Mayor Garcetti, we welcome your nomination to this post at a critical time in the U.S.-India relationship. With more than 1.3 billion people and the sixth largest economy in the world, India is a vital strategic partner for the United States. As a member of the Quad, alongside the United States, Japan, and Australia, India is playing a greater role in helping maintain a free and open Indo-Pacific. In September, the Biden administration hosted the first ever in-person Quad summit here in Washington. When it comes to the bilateral relationship, there is much to discuss. In particular, the shared threat of climate change and India's growing need for electricity presents an opportunity for deeper cooperation. That's why I introduced the Prioritizing Clean Energy and Climate Cooperation with India Act that would help advance India's climate goals. In addition, dealing with the coronavirus must also remain a core element of our bilateral engagement. As you know, India was on the front lines of the pandemic earlier this year when it faced a devastating surge in new cases. As we deepen our partnership with New Delhi, there will inevitably be areas of friction, including concerns related to India's purchase of Russian military hardware and reports of democratic backsliding and discrimination against religious minorities. I expect you to be frank with your Indian counterparts, not just on the areas of cooperation, but also on these differences, all of which are bipartisan priorities for this committee. New Delhi will need to address our concerns if it seeks to deepen our partnership even further. Having you in place in India, Mayor Garcetti, would be critical to advance U.S. interests on these issues and many others. Ambassador Bloom, we welcome your nomination at this particularly challenging moment in the U.S.-Pakistan bilateral relationship. As I told this committee last month, the failure of our mission in Afghanistan was due in no small part to years of Pakistani double-dealing. Islamabad offered safe haven to the Taliban even as its militants targeted and killed U.S. troops. We need to have a serious conversation with the Pakistani government on the path forward, and I'm confident that you will deliver a tough message to them if confirmed. Beyond Afghanistan, I remain deeply concerned about the growing strength of extremist groups within Pakistan itself. The government has created an increasingly permissive environment for extremist groups to operate. Pakistan has also become an increasingly dangerous place for religious minorities, and I'm eager to hear your views on how to strengthen religious freedom in Pakistan. However, there are many important equities in the bilateral relationship, such as curbing nuclear proliferation, managing tensions with India, responding to COVID-19. Your experience in Kabul and other hardship posts will be an asset, and I look forward to hearing how you'll address these challenges in Islamabad. Dr. Gutmann, welcome and congratulations on your nomination. Your years of experience as the president of a leading university, your academic experience, and your powerful family history will no doubt serve us well. The importance of having a Senate-confirmed U.S. ambassador in Berlin cannot be overstated. This is a critical time for the transatlantic relationship, and particularly for the United States and Germany. With the new German government, we have an opportunity to build on and renew decades of friendship and cooperation. It's no secret the U.S.-German relations suffered under the last administration. I'm confident that upon your confirmation, you will help return the relationship to one of respect and to a close strategic partnership. Germany is also a critical ally in our efforts to deter Russian aggression in Europe and prevent a renewed invasion of Ukraine. As Putin continues to try to bully his way through Europe, we need strong U.S. representation and close coordination with allies to stand up for our partners and reject illegitimate efforts to redraw the map of Europe. The urgency of these challenges underscores why we need our embassy in Berlin to have a confirmed ambassador in place immediately, and I hope my colleagues will join me in supporting your nomination and moving it swiftly forward. Let me turn to the ranking member for his opening.